counterfeiters might go and counterfeit a competitor's products, but at least they'll leave you alone. Hopefully, the overall course of action against counterfeiters works, but if not, at least a company can and should take action civilly as well as criminally. In addition, the brand owner's resources can help the government. In the civil case, the brand owner may compel discovery. The brand owner, of course, has to be careful about whatever protective orders are involved in any particular case, but brand owner has an opportunity to collect a tremendous amount of information through a civil proceeding and make it available to the government for use. A civil case also presents a defendant with a very difficult self-incrimination issue. If a defendant in a civil case submits himself or herself to discovery, then it's a wealth of information that can and will be used civilly and can and will be used criminally. If, however, the defendant refuses to provide information because of a fear of self-incrimination, then the court can instruct the jury that it may draw an adverse inference from the invocation of the Fifth Amendment. Finally, the criminal conviction, a criminal conviction, typically will help the civil case because the brand owner can rely on a criminal court's restitution order if there's a plea or a settlement involved. And also there's the doctrine of collateral estoppel, which can establish the defendant's wrongdoing in the civil as well as the criminal case. Are there disadvantages? Well, there probably are. The government will relinquish control over part of its case because somebody else is out there conducting an investigation. But it's a manageable risk. On this, brand owners can and should, and their counsel can and should, touch base with the government and let them know what you're doing and ask if it will interfere with anything that the government is doing. And if brand owners consider putting someone in jail paramount, then it's essential for brand owners to show some deference to the government and not interfere with the government's investigation. But the government can come into court in a civil action and ask the civil court to stay its hand because of an ongoing criminal case. Also, a defendant in a civil case can compel discovery. It is at least conceivable that a defendant may come up with inconsistent statements or learn something about strategy which would harm a government's prosecution. Not that the government is sharing information with brand owners and their counsel, but there can, at least theoretically, be some risk that information learned in the civil action will interfere with the criminal action. So the brand owners are in positions to help not only themselves but also the government, and it will and must involve some expenditure of time and money on behalf of the brand owners. Now, in doing this, brand owners must be very careful. Matthew is going to address this in detail from the government's perspective, but in short, from the brand owner's perspective, it's necessary to remember you can't give the government money. The government's not going to take gifts. You can't put the government in an uncomfortable position or ask someone at the government to violate an ethical issue. So what can you give the government? Give the government information. Give them documents. Make your experts available. Help the government understand why products are counterfeit and the distribution chain, and provide that type of help. In short, there are many different ways that the brand owners and their counsel can work together with the government and help to facilitate criminal prosecutions and be a real asset to the government in so doing. Matthew will now provide us with more details